Morning, how are we all doing? Right, so this is the DeAgostini Rossi bike, and this is just my go at building it. I've seen a lot of others. I've watched a lot of others on the big screen here, but this is my view, my take on it. Now, I've already had a few quirky bits come through the post to do with the fairings and stuff, so I've got new parts on their way, because there was a discoloration now what we'll do is we'll forget that for a minute and we'll start off with the engine. So this is the engine, yeah. So what you got is your bottom box with your gearbox in. It sits like this. We'll go this way. Then you got your next piece, which is your head that sits on there like that, and then you got your rocker cover that goes on top. I've just got to remember which way around it goes. I'm pretty sure it goes this way. So the airbox sits on there. So this doesn't come this colour. This comes a kind of a funny sort of that silver colour. And basically, when I've looked on the Moto Yamaha GP site, it shows it as it's got a blue. So I thought, right, I'll paint it blue, and then all I've got to do is just do the several nuts and bolts in the silver paint. So I've done that. It gives you a sponge there for a gasket. So you've got to screw that onto there as such, and then that tightens down. That screws to that, so you can see the screws inside there and there. And then this is plastic, and then that screws there and there to this main piece here. So we've got that far with that, so I'll put that there, and that all bolts on. Now, the radiators. So this is the oil cooler, and this is the water radiator cooler. So they come in 4 bits. They were the wrong colour because this is steel, and I think that was kind of like a funny titanium aluminium looking colour. But on the real bike again, this was shiny, and this was of a different colour. So I've stuck them, sanded all the lines off of them, and repainted them, both items. So in the back of this pipe, you had to put let's see if I can just move it a tad closer. So oh my god, so you can see there where the filler's slightly dipped, but you're not really going to see that. But it did have a hole there and a hole in there, so I filled them in. So this is your water coolant radiator. It's got to have the cap on. The cap I've not bothered touching because it's got some very nice wording detail on top, so you know you'll end up losing it. So that's your water radiator. That's your oil cooler. So that one's done, and again all the bits and bobs put on it. Then we had the sump. So this is the sump. Now the only thing that's got to be painted now is there's a little black like star looking thing in there, which I've got to paint black, and then there's a spring clip which is silver, so it'll all go black, and then the spring clip little bits go silver. Same with that side, and then the glass goes in, and for that I'll probably use a kind of a yellowy green mix, and just dip it in and wash one side off and keep the other side as the oil thing. So this was the outer case into the gearbox. I think this is, it goes on the engine. Where's it going? Where's this side? So it sits here. I've got a feeling it might be a pump, be it water, because it does connect to the radiator, so it might be an inlet out like flush through to the pump, but that sits on there. Then we've got another piece that sits on the engine. Again, I had to respray all of this because it was just looking like the wrong colour. Where does this go? This, no, it doesn't go on there. It must go on this bit. Yeah, so this piece basically goes there, like that. And then the bottom peg there goes in the bottom of that. And then you've got the pipe. So again, I'm not too sure, pretty sure it's probably water cooled, but it was of a shiny content. It had a little bit of bluing around the ring, weld mark, and then the top of it was a different colour again, and that goes in there, and then that connects up to that one there. Then you've got this, again, not too sure, but this is not finished, this bit, because I've painted the pipe, but the connectors were a different colour. So I've got the pipe shiny, this was all slightly dull, and then the connectors are a bit more, a different colour, like gold and stuff. So that was that. Let's take this thing out, because, oh dear, no, leave it like that for a minute. This was the bottom of the petrol tank inspection plate. Again, it just sits, you never see it once it's done, but there you go. And then I've got a disc here. Now I was going to practice on this one. I thought that there was something that's stuck in the back. There isn't. It just looks like that, and it goes on the wheel like that, and that's it. But this here seems to be the correct colour. This is supposed to be aluminium, which would probably be a bit brighter. This still is black. But what I did see someone do was I saw someone paint this black, this outer rim, and then they got a pencil and just went round it. So you had like a chalk, because these are actually carbon. And so the edge would be kind of a black colour, and then this would be carbon. And the only way this guy got the really best effect was by doing it with a pencil. So lucky enough I got a couple of them, so I'll have one to practice on and two to put on it. It's the same with the back wheel disc. The back wheel disc is a solid disc, but it's got drilled holes in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the holes out, and then the back disc wasn't carbon fibre. That was a normal steel disc with specialist pads or carbon pads. So I can chrome that one up a bit. This was a nut. This goes in here. As to what it does, I do not know, but that's where it sits, in there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is about it for the time being. That's the engine. There's a lot of other bits and bobs in. I've got hoses in, certain covers here, the oil filter there, but there's no decals for the oil filter, which is a bit of a bummer. Oh, and then I've got a sauce. Now I did have some nuts. I had some resin nuts somewhere on a big piece of card like that, and they're that size and shape, because the nut that was on there was so disfigured I had to cut it off. And then I put a plastic circle on there to kind of sharpen this up and make it look like there was a washer there. And I was going to put the nut on top, but I haven't found a nut. But I might have to get some more. That's that. That's the rocker cover. There's the radiators. There's the engine with its pieces on, which are now going to come off. So this will all start to come together within the next sort of day or so. Obviously I'll be working Saturday. I'm going to have my usual daily trip. Well, daily trip's not a daily trip. I only work one day down to the coast and see all the usual customers that come in the shop. So, I mean, I don't know. Usually Saturday are pretty busy for me, so I tend to not get any. But I've got plenty of other time. I only work one day a week. One day, rather. God, that colour. It's bloody awful. It's coffee, it's nice, but it must be the kettle, brand new kettle. The water tastes a bit, I don't know, a bit tainted. You know when you start getting that funny taste when your kettle gets a bit old? It's starting to get that, but the kettle's only about 2 months old. Not even that. I don't know, this is me and my taste. They're getting old, isn't it? That's what it probably is. So, yeah, so what was the other thing I did? Hang on, let me just get it, because it's on the other side of the wall here. So, to show you where we're at with this. So, basically, this was all dull, and I resprayed it using a gloss, Mr. Hobby gloss, and it's come out looking quite good. It just needs a final buzz round with some compound, and it will look even better. But as well as doing that, so there's the, I must admit, I haven't put it in very good place in a box with no cloth in the bottom. We did have a rag in here, but probably the kids had nicked it. So there's the carbon fibre. Now I did notice on the real one, this carbon fibre is going the wrong way. It's actually going that way, and this is going across. So I thought, well, but I don't know where I'm going to get these as decals, because they are decals on there. I did have some carbon fibre upstairs, but it's got these sponsors on here. And I thought, you know what, probably have to leave it. As much as you want it looking like the real thing, you're going to have to leave it. I painted the inside, glossed over the outside of that. Same with the tank. The tank come out absolutely superb. Apart from my daughter that poked what looked like a bubble. And, yeah, so... There's the other side. So that's the only blemish on it so far, is that one. And then you've got the seat hump here, which is massive. But again, it's all glued. Not glued, all glossed rather. So yeah, so it looks quite nice, all nice and shiny. So I was going to have a quick blast down, because sitting in this box is created static, and all the dust that's in here from the bloody cats moving around. So, now this is the bit I was talking about at the beginning. So I've got these two parts, and as you can see, they're two different colours. Now this part, being the cream part, on here, I don't know if you can see it, but they're decals, right? You can see the cut-out line where they've been put on. They've been glossed over. They look bloody awful. And this one, there's no decals. They've actually just been printed on. And the best one to notice is on the Enos, or Enios, or whatever you say that word. But yeah, so these ones have been printed on, but the fairing's white. So anyway, they are sending me 2 new ones, because obviously, you know, this one, although this looks like it's a decal, but I don't know, it's printed. But yeah, no, 2 new ones. So I've got these ones that I can sort of, you know, use as spares, but yeah, not too chuffed, because when you put them together, I mean, they go together superbly. But the thing is you can't help but notice the 2 different colours. And it's even more noticeable on the inside. And you think, oh, hang on a minute. I mean, I know this all in there is going to go black. That defeats that object. But this, and then the texture on this one, where it's got the decals, and it looks like there's dust in the gloss work on it, where they varnished it to keep them on. As this one's got nothing, no dust, because they've been printed on. Anyway, there it is. So all the parts are all here. All I've got to do is start putting it together, but at the same time, you know, it's a case of looking to see how I can improve certain parts of it. Unfortunately for the carbon fibre, although I have got some carbon fibre decal, I haven't got the decals, these things here on the side. Because I'd really like to sand that off and get it looking quite nice, because there's lines in it where they've moulded it, and you've got a bloody mould line going around there. There's another line going up there, and then there's another one there, another one round there. So that whole thing really needs completely sanding off and doing again. The front mudguard's nice though. I must admit, that doesn't need anything doing to it. It just needs a going on the bike. I've managed to paint the inside of that, so that's all black in there. And then, as you can see, it just needs a polish to get rid of the I don't know, the crappy look to it. So I've got to put a compound on that and polish that up, and that'll be the same for literally that and that. Which this one I did start. I started round here, and it it shines up real nice there. It's good stuff. Auto Glim, that's the stuff I was using. So it's it's good stuff. But we're making a start, so it's not going to be. I don't think this is going to be a long drawn out thing. I don't really like things dragging out because otherwise it can just drag out for too long. So with this particular thing, because it's so big and so heavy, I think what I'll do is I've shown you this part now and what I am starting to do with the engine, and then once I get things together, what I'll do, if there's any little bits that I'm going to add on, like a bit of wiring or a bit of braided hose or something like that, I will show you where that goes and how I do it. And I think that's probably going to be the easiest way. Otherwise this could drag into like 24 bloody videos and clutter up my old channel. So I don't want to, because I've got some other builds to do as well. So it's not just this, there's all my other stuff. I've got stuff for Revel to do now. One of them's just come through the door. I've got a private customer to do. I've got it all to do. But this will be on here. It will be shown. So this is part one of the build. Just showing you what I've actually done now. And then in part two, hopefully we'll have something together, like the engine, the gearbox, everything will be together. And we might be putting it, I don't know, into the frame. I don't know, maybe something like that. And then I'll carry on from there. But, yeah. Do you know what? I've just noticed something. I've never noticed this before. Right here on my screen, there's a pause button. I've never been able to pause these videos before. And yet there's a pause button. Pause, record and stop, and take a snapshot. And then just here, got 3, 2, 1, 0.5, and that's your zoom. So I can zoom in and out. It is recording because the clock here on my, although you can't see any of this, but this here is ticking away. But there's the on-off button to the video, but there's a bloody pause button there now. And I've got another update to put on the phone side. Well, I've never noticed that, because that's the one thing that really peed me off, is when I was doing videos and all of a sudden there'd be a knock at the door or something, and I can't pause it and go back to it. I've just got to end it. Or I've got to leave you lot hanging while I answer the pegging door. Well, I'll be. Well, anyway, right. That's sussed. Ooh. Right, okay. So on that note, I'm going to say ta-ra, and I'll see you in the next one. Like, subscribe, hit the old twanger, the doorbell, whatever it is, and chat. Chat to me, chat amongst yourselves, whatever. This is one build for this year. I said it was going to come along, and here it's here now. Let's see what other builds I can do. But in the meantime, the Sea King, which is up there. No, he's out of the question. But anyway, the Sea King up there, he's the next one I'm going to video, so I'll see you in that one. Take care. Bye-bye.